Hey, what's going on, rock stars? Lee Madawi here with you with a brand new installment of our Yup Daily. And I couldn't be more excited to be here, especially I'm feeling a little tiny itty bitty bit better, but my head felt like I was getting pounded over the last 24 hours or so. But I'm coming back for round two. Yesterday, we talked about foundational pieces that you must have in order for you to be successful or lack thereof. Well, today, more than ever, we're going to elaborate on those, but in a different angle. How can you develop leaders? Because a lot of people think that leaders are born, but truly, leaders are developed. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I do. And I am grateful for each and every one of you for being in here. So let me say good morning to some of my amazing, incredible, powerful superheroes from all around the world. Hey, Talia, what is going on? Long time no chat from Florida. Where's everybody at? Oh, okay, here they come. All right, make sure you hit that share button, by the way, or tag a friend that needs to hear this information. Good morning, Cindy Lab. Hey, Weenie from Australia. What's going on, Brenda? So glad to have you in here. Now, how many of you are working with team members and you're wondering to yourself, is there a possibility for me to have a leader, or can I develop this individual from where they are right now and elevate their skill set, their talent, and their commitment? In many ways, we enforce or embody our own limited beliefs onto other individuals. That's what we do as human beings. We don't necessarily see the full potential in every single person. We tend to just see just where they are at. And we're always thinking, I got to go recruit some new people. I got to go recruit some new people. Well, what if I tell you that you can take somebody who has never had any measurable success and turn them into success stories, turn them into leaders? Now, I know for a fact that this is possible because I've done it over 14 years. As a matter of fact, the individuals that we're working with in our entrepreneurial community and are literally not only top earners and or have become the best influencers that we've had have never, ever, ever, for the most part, there's, I believe, one person that has ever had out of 15 people real measurable success and just expanded on it and grew it. But the rest, they never had any measurable success prior to working together. Now, that doesn't take anything away from their potential. Their stars just weren't aligned. But I'm going to share with you what I personally do on a regular basis to develop leaders. Is that okay with you? Beautiful. So let's talk about it. First things first, do you care about the person regardless of their commission that they're providing for you? Do you care about the person regardless of the commission that they're providing for you? See, that's the very first element that you as the mentor have to get and check yourself out at the door. And the reason I say that to you, see, if your member only is as important to you when they are performing, that member is eventually going to catch up onto that. Oh, you're only calling me and texting me when I'm producing for you or when you need me to produce for you. You don't call me to check on me. You call me to ask me, who did I talk to, yesterday, or how was the webinar? Now, there's time for those conversations, right? When you have like a lead group, right? Like leaders in development session or a mentorship session or an accountability call. There are times for those conversations. But here is a tip. First things first, at the top of every week, every Monday, make it a goal that you send a message to those that you are enrolling yourself, working with yourself, and just simply send, hey, just checking in, want to make sure everything is okay. If there's anything you need, I'm here for you. See, by doing that, that individual is actually going to respect the heck out of you because you cared enough about having a true relationship with that person, regardless of what they've done commission-wise. So imagine if you have what I like to call a 7-day touch base, just touching base with that individual every 7 days, even if they're not performing. I do that sometimes more than once a week with many of my mentees that I'm working with. But I highly recommend that at the very least, put a reminder in your phone, an alarm that's going to ding you, check in with your peeps. And the reason you do that, you are literally allowing that individual to feel like they're cared for, cared about, but even more so, that individual may say, I actually had a horrible week, and here is why. So you're literally opening opportunities to learn and hear about that individual's week, day, hour, and you can develop and advise them and coach them. I cannot tell you how many times I'll get a message back that says, so glad you reached out. I'm having a bad day. Oh, let's just jump on a Zoom. Let me hear what you got going on. And usually a little bit of an adjustment, and they realize in that little bit of adjustment, they just had a character building day. They realize they're not the only one who's going through that. See, leadership is not about knowing it all, it's about identifying what you don't know and working your way through it. Man, that was good. That was good. So leadership is not knowing it all, is identifying what you don't know and working through it. I believe that if you were a mentor to your team members and work with them on identifying what they don't know and come up with a game plan to help them develop it. For example, the number one reason people don't have success in network marketing specifically is they don't know how to approach people, or they say, I ran out of people. They don't know how to find new qualified prospects. So that's a problem that we've just identified. Getting the commitment from that person. Well, what if we can work together and have an income producing activity workshop for 30 minutes every other day? Me and you, one-on-one, Zoom, I share screen, and we just prospect together. Would that help you out? See, what you're doing is you took their pain and turned it into an opportunity, and therefore their excitement and commitment level just increase, and they're going to start having little tiny small wins. By having little tiny small wins, their confidence level increases, and automatically what you're going to notice is that individual is growing. Once they grow and they achieve certain milestones, guess what they do? When they get their once a week touch base with their team members, and someone in their team member saying, I'm having a bad day and I'm struggling with getting people, guess what they say? Why don't we have a 30-minute one-on-one session and let me work with you on an income producing? So now you developed an actual leader that was scared, fearful, full of doubt. All of a sudden, they're extremely, extremely confident to lead the way. So number one thing is the touch base. Number two, it's, are you advising your team members to succeed in life or just succeed in business? Are you advising individuals to succeed in life or just succeed in business? There were many times that I had to have hard conversations with individuals about their relationship with their spouses, about their relationships to how they're spending money, about how they're behaving on the last convention that we went to together, and how they looked when they're posting about crazy stuff on social media. See, those are things that don't really have anything to do with building a specific business. But the fact that I'm reaching out to that person, like, hey, we need to talk. You keep liking twerk videos, and Facebook keeps telling us, John Doe liked twerk video, John Doe liked this video, and we all see it. And it makes us all say, I don't know if I want to talk to this person, because as a married man, I don't want my wife to feel or think that all I'm doing all day is watching that crap, right? Now, I know I'm using a very extreme example, but these are conversations that I had to have with what I like to call my little big brothers. Right, they may be older than me, but they allow me to be their big brothers, like or their little big brother. Right, that's it. So reaching out to that individual and helping them adjust a little bit, identify their core values, removing distractions, telling them, like, hey, instead of you doing such and such and such, you can do such and such and such. Hey, instead of you saying that I don't have a job, I see you got a car that you're driving every single day. Why don't you do Uber or Lyft? And you're an independent now. You're working around the clock for your business. Like, things that actually would help them become successful in life. Working out, taking care of your health, making sure that you don't eat garbage, making sure that you're maintaining your sleep, making sure that I'm giving you the best advice as a human being, not just somebody who can make me money. When was the last time you took it upon yourself to just love on somebody and just advise them on how they can do certain things, just as a solid favor? Helping individuals identify their priorities. We talked yesterday, there's no such thing as I don't have time. It's I don't have priorities. So priorities are an important piece of business, right? If your priorities are out of whack, no matter how talented and skilled you are, you're just not going to do the required activities. So how do I personally get somebody to give up, a Saturday night college football or going out and deciding on spending a little bit of quality time together on a personal development event? How do I get somebody to, instead of spending money on, spring break in Miami, to allocate that money onto a summit or a 3-day event for business growth? Like it takes a little bit of time, but if we have conversations about priorities, and usually I ask people, so tell me a little bit about why you wanted to get in business, right? You hear the reason why all the time. That's an important component to have in conversations with individuals. Why did you decide to get involved in a business, no matter what business that is? And let them speak. Do not interrupt. Don't prepare for an answer before they finish talking. Just let them speak. Take notes, take notes, take notes. Great. And how is it going? And wait, let them tell you. Most of the time, that individual is going to say, it's not going good at all, actually. I haven't made any money. No one is listening to me. I'm not having any results. I'm considering trying something else or even canceling my subscription, yada, 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 all those different things. See, by that individual giving you all those answers, you're going to ask a simple question. So how many people do you talk to on average every day? They're going to say 5, maybe 10 tops. And what do you say to them? Hey, are you interested in a business? And in what medium? Social media, email, phone call? Like, you're digging to find out what they're doing, and then you're going to identify that they may be in a business, but they're not working the business the proper way. What I mean is, you ever gone to and no offense to anybody, I'm just giving you an example in here, but you ever gone to a store where there's that one cashier, or a fast food place where there's that one cashier that just sits in the corner and just staring at everything and everyone that are running back and forth, and they're not doing anything, and you're wondering, like, why is that person just standing in there and just doing absolutely nothing, right? They're filling up the soda and just standing in the corner while everyone is going running back and forth like crazy. Well, that individual has a job. He is in the corner of the job, right? In their station, but is that person giving their best potential towards that job so they can advance their career? No, not really. Not really. So it's the same exact thing in a traditional business or in an online business or a home-based business arena. There are many people who have the gym mentality after Thanksgiving. They will show up for 2 to 3 weeks, and then they won't. And then they'll keep their membership active. They'll pay their, $20 to $100 a month every single month. I've done it myself. I was guilty of that. And, just to justify that I do have a membership to the gym, but I look like a slob. I do have a membership to the gym. Next week I'm going to start. But then I don't eat right. I don't drink enough water. I don't sleep healthy. I don't do the required activities. There are many people in your business who are doing the same exact thing. Only through you sitting down and having a true evaluation. By the way, the reason why in a traditional job, there's the 6-month or the 12-month review, right? The biannual review to get a raise, or God forbid to, get demoted or whatever the case may be. That's because of that. Hey, let's see what you did for the last 6 months. Let's see how you did it. Let's see how you improved. Let's see what you've produced. And then based on that, I used to hate it when I used to work in Ruby Tuesday back in 14 years ago. And, every 6 months I worked my tail off 90 hours a week and I'd never get a raise. And they will find out one thing. And, if just this one column in here was to be better, we'll give you 1 to 2% increase. I'm like, man, 1 to 2%, that's an additional $112 a month. Right? No offense, nothing against it. I'm just sharing with you my personal experience. So you need to sit down with that individual and identify their priorities. Once you identify their priorities, you need to get infinite commitment that we talked about yesterday. So that is going to be the hard part. The infinite commitment is fighting their temptations. Infinite commitment is when somebody's like, oh yeah, man, I'm all in. I'm planting my flag. This is my home. Woohoo! Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We got this. And then they don't show up on the very next Zoom the same exact night that they said they're all in. So what actually happened? Again, priorities and having a non-committed mindset, because they will make up an excuse if they're not committed. There's a reason an individual shows up to their job every single day on time and leaves on time, because they're committed. There's a reason the individual that has a traditional business that invested 100, 200, $300,000 in that business shows up from open to close 364 days a year. Yeah, 2 days off, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So the reason that is that they're committed, they're all in. So your partner, your member may not be as committed because they don't feel like they are as invested, whether it is money investment or whether there's emotional investment. See, emotional investment is a lot more powerful than any financial investment. Money comes and goes, but your hope, your admiration, your inspirations, your core values, the milestones that you want to achieve, those are powerful personal energy-based pieces that are the most powerful thing. You close your eyes and you imagine yourself achieving all those amazing things. There's nothing more powerful than that energy that you're releasing. True love is the most powerful energy that you can release. And when you love something so much, you're going to do whatever it takes on it. That's what we do, whatever it takes for our kids, right? Or at least I hope so. Now, how do you get that person to get that commitment? They need to understand the value of what they have in front of them. They just don't see enough value. If somebody does not commit to your business, it's not that they weren't interested or they don't have what it takes. They don't see the full value. They just see the glance. They saw a piece of the business. They think or they have their own assumption what the business actually is. So it is your sole job to get that person to buy in every single day, whether it is through contests, whether it is through incentives, whether it is through sitting them down and giving them true full vision of, hey, here is what you have in front of you. You know, one of our verticals in our entrepreneurial community alone is a $22 billion vertical. Think about that for a second. You think I have a little bit of value to raise? We have, people from Shark Tank and Secret Millionaire involved with us. Do you think we would want to be in business with them? See, that is a vision of a full-blown commitment. If you commit, you'll have direct access to these individuals. Hey, there's 6,300 people around the world that would love to watch your content, that would love to watch who you are and what you say and what you share. Do you think that will be something of value to you? See, when you see the vision of what is available to that individual and they understand it, they comprehend it fully, you no longer have to tell the person to show up. I know that for a fact because earlier I was on a prospecting call with Takoya Carton. And the gentleman is doing very, very well for himself. He's a corporate officer of a direct sales model. He's doing very, very well outside of it as a coach and a mentor. And we just focus on what was relevant to him. We focus on how we add more value into his business. And he got it. He goes like, dude, you got my wheel spinning. Like there's so much that I can do with this thing. See, normally most people would vomit with the irrelevant information just because you have the commission breath. And all of a sudden you're telling everything to everyone about everything that they might not care about. And that person is like, whoa, dude, I'm already committed to something else. Your member may be already committed to their job, maybe already committed to soccer practice for the kids, maybe already committed to family time or whatever the case may be, church, mosque, synagogue, whatever it may be. Are you doing enough of a job where you can visually show them what is available to them and how we can help them long term for that reason why that they said they really want to achieve? When you get that commitment, leadership starts to develop. When you get that commitment, the sacrifice starts to take place. I know that to be a fact. There's a young lady by the name of Nicki Moore. Nicki Moore, when she started with us about a year ago, she started with $7. We no longer have that offer anymore. It was a $7 offer. And for months, after months, after months, after months, she just an audience member from the outside, not doing much. And then one day she and I had a conversation and she told me how scared she was to make an investment, how money is short, to go all in. And we had a conversation. We identified her core values. We identified what was important to her. We identified the different options outside our community, and then how our community is the direct catalyst for her to achieve all she wanted. Nicki Moore now is one of the biggest names of upcoming executives in our company. She's educating, she's training, she's sharing every single week. She's building an organization that she's mentoring on a regular basis. She's achieving milestones that she never thought she could. Why did she commit? Because she, felt like someone actually gave a crap. Someone cared about her. Someone wanted to take the time and say, hey, I want to, like, I never forget. I reached out to her randomly, like, hey, I'd like to just learn more about you and your professional background. I want to just catch up. And one thing led to another, and here we are today. And I'm forever grateful that she's given me the opportunity to have that conversation. And that's why she's fully committed. It is your time to reach out to your members and go over these very simple, basic fundamentals. Because once you do, the commitment is there. Now, guess what we're going to talk about tomorrow? Daily method of operations. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, okay, Monday, we talked about your foundational pieces to create a 7-figure business. Today, we talked about foundational pieces to get your organization to commit and certain individuals who will be leaders in development. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about daily method of operations. What do you and your team need to do together every single day in order to have a systematic growth in your business week in and week out? How, when, where, who, what? I might even give you a document afterwards, a PDF that you can leverage and use for accountability and tracking pieces for you and your team members. So if you're cool with that, let me know in the chat or in the comment. I would love to get some of that, Ali, and we'll give it to you at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do have to drop. I got a breakthrough challenge that I got to go to and help and assist. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until tomorrow, peace out, everybody.